Listen carefully. The mind is your greatest ally or your deadliest enemy. Every day it whispers two voices into your soul, one that tempts you with comfort, and one that calls you to rise, to grow, to conquer. And the truth is simple. The man or woman who learns to silence the voice of weakness and obey the voice of discipline will shape a life that others only dream of. Hard things, they do not destroy you. They forge you. Every act of courage, every disciplined step taken when your body screamed no, and your mind begged for ease, these are the invisible bricks that build an unshakable character. If you want to rise, if you want to command your destiny, you must learn the sacred art of doing what you do not want to do, and doing it with relentless precision. The first step is clarity. You cannot force your mind to move if you have not given it a destination. Define exactly what you want and why you want it. Write it. Speak it. See it so vividly that it burns into your consciousness. The mind follows the pictures you feed it. Give it an image of your highest self, and your actions will begin to align with that vision. The second step is mastery over emotion. Understand this. Feelings are unreliable. They are fleeting, unstable, often built on fear or laziness. If you live your life ruled by how you feel, you will never build anything of worth. Command your mind to act in spite of fear, in spite of fatigue, in spite of doubt. Action does not wait for permission. Action creates permission. Third, build a system of discipline. Do not rely on willpower alone. It is a fragile thing, easily broken. Instead, construct a life where success is inevitable. Wake up at the same time every day. Guard your mornings like a treasure. Train your body, feed your mind, and set priorities before the world demands your attention. When discipline becomes habit, the hard things cease to feel hard. They become part of who you are. Fourth, embrace discomfort. Comfort is the silent killer of ambition. The moment you feel resistance, that tension in your chest telling you to stop, that is the signal that you are standing at the edge of growth. Push forward, not back. The treasure you seek, the strength, the power, the results, they all live on the other side of discomfort. Make pain your teacher, not your enemy. Fifth, surround yourself with pressure. The mind grows sharper in the presence of challenge. Seek people who expect more from you, who refuse to tolerate your excuses, who demand you live to your highest potential. Place yourself in environments where quitting is not an option, where excellence is the minimum standard. The stronger the pressure, the stronger you will become. Sixth, learn to speak to yourself with authority. The words you feed your subconscious are the seeds of your future. When fear says, "I can't," answer with, "I will." When doubt whispers, "This is too hard," command your mind, "This is the path to greatness." Speak victory until it becomes your reality. The mind, like a soldier, obeys the orders it hears most often. Lastly, take relentless action. Motion breeds momentum. The smallest step forward, repeated day after day, will build a force so great that nothing can stop it. You will look back one day and realize. Force your mind to obey you. Make it kneel to your vision. Demand more from yourself than the world dares to ask. And when the day comes that you stand victorious, when you have built the life you once dreamed of, you will know in your heart that it was never the world you conquered. It was you. Clarity is the foundation of all achievement. It is the invisible force that pulls you toward your destiny. Without clarity, your mind wanders aimlessly, chasing distractions, falling prey to fear, and surrendering to the comfort of inaction. But when you decide with precision and unwavering certainty what it is you desire, the mind aligns itself with your command, and the universe begins to shape circumstances in your favor. The first battle you must win is within. You cannot force your mind to obey you if you do not know what you are commanding it to do. The man without a clear vision becomes a slave to his surroundings, easily swayed by opinions, doubts, and fleeting emotions. But the man who defines his vision, who writes it, speaks it, and engraves it in his soul, becomes unshakable. He cannot be stopped, for his mind has only one destination, and every thought, every action, every moment bends itself toward that purpose. Think for a moment about the power of a definite purpose. A ship in the middle of the ocean without a destination drifts endlessly at the mercy of the winds and waves. But give that ship a compass and a map, and suddenly every wave, every gust of wind becomes an ally that carries it toward its harbor. The same law governs your mind. Without clarity, you drift. With clarity, you move with power. Begin by asking yourself the questions most men never dare to ask. What do I truly want? Not what others expect of me, not what is comfortable, but what burns within me so fiercely that I cannot ignore it. When you find that answer, write it down. Let it be simple. Let it be clear. If your goal is wealth, define the amount. If it is mastery of a skill, define the level. If it is freedom, define exactly what that freedom looks like. Vagueness is the enemy of progress. Precision is the ally of power. Once your vision is clear, immerse yourself in it. Feed it to your mind until it becomes the only reality you see. Speak it aloud each morning as the sun rises. Write it in a notebook until your hand aches. Picture it so vividly that you feel it in your bones. The mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. When your vision dominates your thoughts, it begins to pull you forward with an invisible force, guiding your steps, sharpening your focus, and awakening strength you never knew you had. Understand this. Clarity is not simply knowing what you want, it is building an unbreakable belief that you will have it. Doubt cannot coexist with a definite vision. The clearer your destination, the less power fear holds over you. Challenges will arise, they always do, but the man with clarity will see them not as obstacles, but as stepping stones, each one necessary to carry him closer to his ultimate aim. Clarity also sharpens decision-making. Life is full of distractions, opportunities that promise much but deliver little. Without clarity, you will chase them all and achieve none. But when your mind is anchored to a definite purpose, you will know instantly what aligns with your path and what does not. You will learn to say no to the noise, to the trivial, to the tempting but meaningless detours, and yes only to what moves you forward. With clarity comes focus, and with focus comes power. A scattered mind achieves little. A focused mind bends reality. The men and women who build empires, who revolutionize industries, who shape history, they are not always the most intelligent or the most talented, but they are the clearest. They know exactly what they want to deliver it. For the man who knows where he is going will always find a way to get there. Your emotions are powerful, but they are not to be your master. The man who waits until he feels ready will spend his entire life waiting. Feelings are like the wind shifting, unpredictable, impossible to control, but your actions, your decisions, and your discipline can be commanded with absolute authority. If you wish to master your mind, you must learn to act in spite of the emotions that try to chain you to mediocrity. Think about it. How many dreams have died because someone waited for motivation to strike? How many men have fallen short of greatness because they believed their feelings were the ultimate truth? Fear whispers, wait until you are confident. Laziness murmurs, do it tomorrow. Doubt sneers, you are not ready. And so they sit, frozen, while opportunity passes them by. You must rise above that. You must become the commander of your emotions, not their servant. The truth is this: you do not need to feel like doing hard things, you need only to do them. Action breeds the emotion you desire. When you take the first step, even when every fiber of your being resists, you awaken a momentum that grows stronger with every move forward. Understand this well: emotions are not facts. They are temporary states of mind, often born from fear, fatigue, or the simple desire for comfort. They cannot be trusted to guide you toward greatness. If you obey them, they will lead you to safety, but safety is where dreams go to die. The greatest growth, the highest rewards, are found in the places where fear screams loudest and discomfort burns deepest. Every moment of progress begins with a decision to act despite resistance. When your mind says, "I can't," that is the moment you must say, "I will." When fear tightens its grip, That is your cue to move faster, to press harder, to refuse to be controlled. For each time you override the voice of hesitation, you grow stronger, and your mind learns to obey you. Consider the great builders of history. They were not free of fear. They were not untouched by doubt, but they moved anyway. They learned that courage is not the absence of fear, it is the mastery of it. They acted day after day, not because they were comfortable, but because they understood a truth that few accept, that consistent, disciplined action creates the life that wishful thinking never will. When you begin to take action without waiting for emotion to grant permission, something extraordinary happens. The mind bends to your will. What once felt impossible becomes familiar. What once seemed unbearable becomes routine. And soon, discipline is no longer a fight, it is a habit, a natural state of being, because you have trained yourself to act, no matter how you feel. To master your emotions, build rituals that do not rely on inspiration. Wake at the same hour each day, whether you want to or not. Begin your morning with action, exercise, planning, reflection before the chaos of the world can dictate your day. When the body resists, remind it that obedience is not optional. When the mind protests, remind it that you, not your feelings, are in command. Every small act of defiance against laziness strengthens your mental armor. Each time you push through fatigue, your self-image shifts. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hesitates, and you start seeing yourself as someone who moves, someone who acts, someone who commands. That identity forged in the fires of consistent action will carry you through storms that would break lesser men. And when the inevitable moments of fear arise, when the stakes are high, when the challenge feels too great, remember that the fear you feel is only energy waiting to be directed. Channel it into movement. Use it as fuel. Fear loses its power the moment you confront it. Hesitation is what makes it grow. Mastery over emotion is not built in a day. It is forged through repetition, through thousands of tiny victories where you acted when it was easier to stand still. With every victory, your mind grows quieter, your discipline grows sharper, and your results grow larger. There will always be days when you feel weak, tired, or overwhelmed. Those are the days that matter most. Those are the days when showing up, taking action, and refusing to quit shape the person you are becoming. Every step taken against resistance builds a mind that no longer waits for permission to act. Remember, emotions are tools, nothing more, nothing less. They are meant to be used, not obeyed. When you take command, when you decide that your actions will no longer be chained to fleeting feelings, you awaken a power within you that few ever touch. That is how you build strength. That is how you build discipline. And that is how you build a life that bends to your will. Willpower is fragile. It burns bright for a moment, then fades when the weight of difficulty presses down. If you want to build a life of strength, achievement, and mastery, you cannot rely on fleeting bursts of motivation. You must build systems, unshakable structures that make discipline automatic, that make progress inevitable, and that carry you forward even when your mind whispers excuses and your body begs for rest. Look closely at the lives of those who have achieved greatness. Their success was not an accident, nor was it a single act of courage. It was the result of systems, routines so ingrained, so consistent, that action became as natural as breathing. The man who wakes at dawn every day does not debate whether he should rise when the alarm sounds. He simply rises because it has become who he is. This is the secret. You do not need more willpower, you need structure. Systems remove the burden of decision. They replace hesitation with habit. They create an environment where the hard choice becomes the only choice, and where discipline is no longer something you fight for, but something that flows through your daily life. Begin by mastering your mornings. The first hours of your day set the tone for everything that follows. Wake at the same time, no matter how you feel. Claim the silence of the morning for yourself. Move your body, strengthen your mind, and plan your day with precision. Do this long enough, and your mornings become sacred, a foundation of strength that no chaos can shake. Next, guard your environment. Your surroundings either build your discipline or destroy it. If you are trying to focus, but your phone is buzzing, your desk is cluttered, and distractions are within reach, you are fighting a battle you do not need to fight. Build an environment where focus is effortless. Remove temptations. Keep only what serves your vision within reach. The easier you make the right action, the more consistently you will take it. Structure your time with intention. Do not allow your days to be ruled by chance. Block out hours for your most important tasks and protect that time with your life. When you schedule your actions, when you know exactly what must be done and when, you remove the mental friction that keeps so many stuck in hesitation. Clarity and structure free the mind to do what it was designed to do. Execute. Understand, too, that systems are not built in a day. They are forged over time through repetition and refinement. Begin small. Anchor your habits to something you already do. If you drink coffee in the morning, use that moment to review your goals. If you take an evening walk, use that time to reflect on your progress. Layer one disciplined habit upon another until your days are filled with patterns that move you closer to your vision without constant effort. And when resistance arises, when your mind protests, when old habits call you back to comfort, let your systems carry you. Trust the process you have built. There will be days when your willpower is weak, but if your system is strong, you will still move forward. Discipline is not about perfection, it is about consistency. Systems make consistency possible. The beauty of a well-designed system is that it compounds over time. Each disciplined day builds upon the last, creating momentum so powerful that stopping feels unnatural. The man who once struggled to wake early finds himself rising before the alarm. The one who once fought to train his mind now hungers for growth each morning. Discipline, repeated long enough, transforms into identity. Do not mistake structure for restriction. Systems do not confine you, they free you. They free you from the chaos of indecision, from the weight of procrastination, from the constant negotiation with yourself about what you should do. When the system is in place, there is no debate, there is only action. If you desire extraordinary results, build extraordinary systems. A scattered approach will lead only to scattered outcomes. But when your days are ordered, when your routines are purposeful, and when your actions are automatic, success ceases to be a matter of chance, it becomes inevitable. And here is the great truth. Discipline is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters every single day without fail. Systems keep you aligned with your vision when motivation fades. They carry you when you are tired. They protect your focus when the world tries to pull you in 100 directions. Build them, strengthen them, live by them, for the man who builds strong systems does not wonder if he will succeed, he knows, because success, when engineered through discipline and structure, is no longer a possibility, it is a certainty. Discomfort is the birthplace of greatness. Every ounce of growth, every moment of transformation, every victory you will ever taste will come from walking through the fires of discomfort, and yet most people run from it. They cling to comfort as if it were safety, not realizing that comfort is the silent thief of potential. The man who lives in comfort never discovers his true power because he never dares to step beyond the walls he has built around himself. You must understand a universal truth. The life you want, the strength, the success, the freedom, the wealth, the mastery, it all lies on the other side of pain. Not suffering for the sake of suffering, but deliberate discomfort, chosen willingly, embraced fully, because you know that within it lies the key to the person you were meant to become. The moment you feel resistance, that pull to stop, to turn back, to rest, that is your signal. That is your invitation to push forward, because that resistance is the boundary of your current self. Break through it and you grow, retreat from it and you remain the same. The choice is always yours. Every great story of achievement is a story of someone who learned to make discomfort their ally. The inventor who stayed awake night after night, chasing solutions while others slept. The athlete who trained until their body screamed for relief, only to wake and do it again. The leader who faced rejection, criticism, and failure, but refused to yield. What separates them from the ordinary is not talent, not luck, not opportunity, it is their willingness to embrace what others fear. Discomfort is a test, and it never stops testing you. When you wake early to pursue your goals, it tests you. When you push your body to train harder, it tests you. When you work while others rest, it tests you. But every time you choose to endure, every time you lean into that tension instead of away from it, you forge a mind that becomes unbreakable. Do not misunderstand, discomfort is not your enemy, it is your teacher. It reveals where you are weak so that you may become strong. It strips away the illusions you have built around yourself and forces you to confront the truth. It asks you one simple question: how much do you want it? And your answer is not in your words, but in your actions. Most people seek the path of least resistance. They avoid pain, they seek ease, they want the rewards without the price. But the law of growth is unchanging. What you avoid today becomes the prison you live in tomorrow. The man who avoids difficult conversations lives with broken relationships. The one who avoids risk lives a life of regret. The one who avoids challenge never learns what he is truly capable of. When you choose the harder road, when you embrace the cold, the early mornings, the extra work, the long hours, the criticism, the fear, you separate yourself from the masses. You enter rare territory, a place where few dare to tread because discomfort scares them. But you will not be afraid because you will know the truth. Discomfort is not pain, it is growth. Every time you face discomfort head on, your threshold expands. What once seemed impossible becomes routine. What once terrified you becomes ordinary. You build a tolerance for challenge, a hunger for progress, a quiet confidence that no matter what comes, you will endure, you will adapt, and you will overcome. To live in discomfort is to live in power. Make it part of your daily practice. If it is hard to wake early, wake earlier. If it is hard to speak up, speak louder. If it is hard to take that next step, take two. Condition your mind to see discomfort not as a signal to stop, but as a green light to keep going. And when pain comes, real pain, the kind that shakes you, do not curse it. Thank it. For it is in those moments that you discover the depth of your strength. It is in those moments that you realize you are far more capable, far more resilient, far more unstoppable than you ever imagined. Comfort keeps you small, discomfort expands you, and life, in its infinite wisdom, will always offer you both paths. The one of ease, lined with excuses, and the one of challenge, paved with resistance. If you seek greatness, if you seek mastery, if you seek to live a life that leaves a mark, you already know which road you must choose. Step into the fire, let it shape you, let it burn away the fear, the weakness, the doubt. For when you embrace discomfort, not as an enemy but as a guide, you unlock the version of yourself that was waiting all along, strong, disciplined, relentless, unstoppable. Your environment is the silent architect of your destiny. You may not realize it, but every person you allow into your circle, every space you inhabit, every word you hear, and every standard you tolerate is shaping you, either building you into the person you are meant to be, or slowly dragging you back into mediocrity. If you wish to rise, you must understand this unbreakable law. You become a reflection of the environment you live in. Look around you. Who surrounds you? Are they people who demand excellence, who refuse excuses, who push you to grow even when you want to stay still? Or are they voices of comfort, voices that tell you to take it easy, to slow down, to accept less than you deserve? A man who desires greatness cannot afford to keep company with those content to settle. Pressure sharpens the mind, but comfort dulls it. The truth is simple. If you spend your time among those who complain, you will complain. If you surround yourself with those who quit when it gets hard, you will quit. But if you walk with those who rise, those who dare, those who refuse to stop, then their fire will ignite your own. Greatness is contagious, but so is mediocrity. Choose carefully which one you allow to infect you. Your environment is more than the people you meet. It is the standards you set. What do you allow yourself to tolerate? Do you let laziness creep into your routines? Do you permit distractions to consume your time? Or have you built an environment so focused, so aligned with your purpose, that success is the natural result? A man who builds an environment of discipline needs less willpower because his surroundings do the work for him. His workspace is clean, ready for action. His schedule is clear, blocking out time for his highest priorities. His phone is silent when he is building, his mind undisturbed by meaningless noise. He has designed his world to make progress inevitable. Pressure is your ally. Seek it. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who hold you accountable, who will not accept your excuses. Place yourself in rooms where you are the least experienced, the least accomplished, because that pressure will force you to grow. The mind sharpens under the weight of expectation. It becomes sharper, faster, stronger when it knows there is no room for weakness. Consider this: diamonds are formed under pressure, steel is hardened in fire. So, too, is your character forged in environments that demand your very best. Do not shy away from the places where you feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is a sign that you are in the right room, surrounded by those who will not let you remain the same. Build habits that make your environment your partner in success. Create physical spaces that inspire action: a desk where you write with focus, a corner where you plan your goals in silence, a place where every detail reminds you of the man or woman you are becoming. Let your surroundings whisper your purpose back to you every time you enter the room, but most importantly, guard your circle. Remove the voices that pull you down. Distance yourself from those who laugh at ambition, who question your dreams, who live in the chains of fear and want you to stay there with them. This is not cruelty, it is survival. You cannot soar with anchors tied to your feet. Seek those who have walked the path you wish to walk. Listen to those who demand more from you, who will tell you the truth when it hurts, who will look you in the eye and remind you that you are capable of more. These are the allies who will lift you when you falter, who will push you when you hesitate, and who will celebrate with you when your victories arrive. An empowered environment creates an empowered mind. When your world is aligned with your vision, you no longer waste energy fighting distractions or wrestling with doubt. Every step you take feels natural because everything around you is pointing you in the same direction. Remember this: you do not rise in isolation. You rise because you have placed yourself in an environment where rising is the only option. You rise because you have built a world where discipline is normal, where excellence is expected, and where greatness is simply the standard. So build wisely, choose carefully, design a life where your surroundings push you higher every single day, for when your environment is strong, when it is forged for growth, success stops being a distant dream, it becomes the only outcome possible. Your mind listens to you more than to anyone else. Every thought you entertain, every word you speak to yourself, every belief you repeat day after day, plants a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious. Those seeds will grow into strength or weakness, confidence or fear, progress or paralysis, depending entirely on what you choose to plant. If you wish to command your life, you must first command your inner voice. Doubt is a liar. Fear is a deceiver. They whisper in the quiet corners of your mind, telling you that you are not ready, that the task is too great, that you are not enough. Most men believe these voices. They surrender before the battle even begins. But those who rise, those who build lives of power, purpose, and wealth, are the ones who learn to speak louder than doubt, firmer than fear, stronger than hesitation. Understand this, your mind is like a soldier. It obeys the orders it hears most often. If you tell it you are weak, it will find proof of your weakness. If you tell it you are capable, it will search for ways to confirm that belief. Your thoughts become commands, and those commands shape your reality. That is why you must take control of your inner dialogue. Each morning, speak with authority to yourself. Tell your mind exactly what you expect. Say, I am disciplined, I am relentless, I am focused, I will not quit, I will not break. Say it when you feel strong, but especially when you feel weak. In those moments of weakness, your words become a shield. They cut through fear, they silence hesitation, they remind you of who you are and who you are becoming. Words without action are empty, but action without the right words is blind. When you align your language with your vision, you ignite a force within you that cannot be ignored. You begin to walk, speak, and act like the person you are striving to become. And soon you stop striving and start being, because repetition has rewired your belief system. Action, however, is the great amplifier. When you tell yourself you are disciplined and then act in discipline, that belief grows roots. When you tell yourself you cannot be stopped and then move forward in spite of fear, that belief becomes unshakable. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you build brick by brick through the marriage of word and action. Start small if you must, but start. Take one deliberate step forward each day. Wake earlier than you want to, train harder than you think you can, work longer, think deeper, push further. Each step compounds, building momentum that becomes unstoppable. Soon, what once felt impossible becomes routine, and your mind, now trained, no longer questions your ability, it simply obeys. There will be days when the voice of doubt roars louder than usual, days when fear feels heavier, when obstacles appear larger, when failure seems inevitable. In those moments you must not shrink, stand tall, speak louder, command your mind with such clarity and conviction that fear has no choice but to retreat. Remind yourself, I have endured worse, I will endure this, I will win. Consistency is the secret. You cannot speak power into your mind once and expect transformation. Just as steel is forged by repeated strikes of the hammer, your mind is forged by repeated commands, delivered daily without fail. Discipline your language, discipline your thoughts, and over time, your mind will bend to your will. And as your mind changes, your reality changes. You will begin to notice doors opening where before there were walls. You will find opportunities where before there were only obstacles. You will see solutions where others see problems. This is not luck. This is the natural result of a disciplined mind, trained to act, trained to believe, trained to obey. The greatest victories in life are won long before the world ever sees them. They are won in the quiet battles you fight within yourself. Every time you choose strength over weakness, action over hesitation, discipline over comfort, you are writing the story of your success. And one day that story will be undeniable. Speak to yourself as the master of your fate. Act with relentless faith in your ability to shape your future. Repeat the truth until your mind has no choice but to accept it. Then move every day, every hour, every moment with a force that cannot be denied. For when your thoughts and actions are aligned, when your inner voice speaks with authority and your steps follow with certainty, there is no limit to what you can create, no height you cannot reach, no vision you cannot turn into reality.